Hey everyone, it's CL. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing the 7 things I hate about myself and 7 things I love. And I originally came across this video, or this type of video, from Glowpinkstah's channel. She is a channel that I have followed for a very long time. She used to do like comedy sketches a very long time ago, and now she kind of just does vlogs, but she is someone who I just like following her life and seeing how she's doing, and I totally root for her and her husband Allie. So check out her channel if you are into vlogs. I will link it down below. But yeah, she inspired me to do this same video, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. So I'm gonna start off with the 7 things I hate about myself. First and foremost, I hate my anxiety. My anxiety drives me crazy. Not only does it drive everybody else crazy, it drives me crazy as well, and you never know when it's gonna kick in a way where it might affect your everyday life in a sense, you know. There was one time in New York City, I was going up this very steep escalator. It was a very long and steep escalator. If you looked up, everyone looks like they were like tilted at a 45-degree angle. And I looked up, and I know I shouldn't have, because my daughter always tells me to look at my feet, and I didn't. One time I didn't, and I was starting to freak out. And if you were to fall off this escalator, you would tumble a long way down. And then just like the bouncing of the escalator, just it started to get to me. Not only was it very steep, not only were people looking crazy at a 45-degree angle, the escalator was like bumping around, and it was starting to get to me, and I nearly fainted on an escalator. Thankfully I didn't, but once I got off the escalator I felt very lightheaded, and I needed to like stand in a corner for a while. But it's an anxiety thing, and that's just an example of how like anxiety is a real problem in my life, and I hate it, but it's something I continue to work on every day. The next thing that I hate about myself is that I have like terrible follow through when it comes to like my own things, like when it comes to work and stuff like that. I'm very good at following through with stuff with work, following through when I make commitments with other people, but when it comes to my own stuff, my own projects, I have terrible follow through. I will start something and I will get almost done, and then I stop doing it. Or I will start something and then get a quarter of the way done, and then I'll stop doing it. And then later, months later down the line, I'll pick it up again, but it never gets finished. Like, I have horrible follow through when it comes to like my own things that I'm doing, which I hate. The next thing that I hate about myself is that I am someone who very much can fall into the trap of people pleasing. I am such a people pleaser, and maybe that's why I tend to like isolate myself from other people, just to prevent other people from like using me. Like, I hate that I'm a people pleaser. I like it and I hate it. I just wish I was like a healthy medium as far as people pleasing goes, you know? Oh, another thing that I hate about myself is that I tend to be an impulse buyer. Like, I will go to Target and I'll be like, oh, this is my list from Target. Oh, and if I'm running out of some makeup, I'll stop by the makeup section, and I'll have this like preset reason why I'm going to the store. And then like when I'm getting ready to check out, more often than not, I just end up with a bunch of other things in my cart that I don't necessarily need or wanted to get, but somehow I end up spending way more than I wanted to, because I tend to be like an impulse buyer. I have my good days and my bad days, but especially when I go to Target, I have very bad days when it comes to impulse buying. But it's one of those things that I hate, but I'm continuing to work on. All right, this one some of you might laugh at, but it's a very serious thing for me. I hate that I have very little willpower when it comes to food. Like, I will be doing so good eating healthy and be losing weight, and then I just end up caving because I really want certain foods. I really like pizza, I really like chocolate, and I really like cake. It's very hard for me to resist those foods. Like, I try so hard. I wish I wasn't like, I wish I was stronger with my willpower when it came to food, you know. Food is my ultimate weakness. I just love it. And I know that since I'm getting older, I need to focus more on my health. And I know that, and yet I still cave. Like, I was doing so well, and then out of nowhere, I'll cave and I'll eat something terrible, you know? It's just hard. That's one of the things I hate, is my lack of willpower when it comes to food. Oh gosh, okay, so these next two, these ones kill me. These kill me a little bit on the inside. So one of the things that I really hate about myself, and it really kills me inside, is that I'm so bad with directions that I hate it. Like, what is inside me or not inside me that I just don't have like this internal compass? No matter what I do, no matter how prepared I think I am, I always get lost if I'm going somewhere new for the first time. So earlier this week I had an appointment that was supposed to be like 10 minutes away and I couldn't find it, and then somehow I convinced myself maybe I didn't drive down far enough, and I ended up in like the farmland out in the boonies, and then I ended up turning around. I was following my GPS. Even when following my GPS, I still get lost. The GPS says that I have arrived at my destination, but when I looked around, I was still in the middle of nowhere. And I ended up missing my appointment because I just couldn't find where to go, and it was so bad. So I ended up canceling that or rescheduling that appointment. I went home. The next day my dad went with me to the appointment because he's better at directions, and then he was able to find it right away. Like, what is wrong with me to where I just have no sense of direction? I'm so bad. And the last thing that I really hate about myself is that I'm a little bit, and when I say a little bit, I'm a lot of bit of a social butthead. Like, I just don't have those instincts of how to be social, how to small talk. Like, I have some small talk skills, but only because I have practiced them throughout the years. I just don't have that natural ability to like socialize with people. Like, there are just some people that make it look so effortless, and it's so hard for me. Like, I just don't come off natural when I try to socialize with people. It feels awkward to me. It comes across as awkward. I'm just a social butthead, and that is one of the things that I hate about myself, because I just wish I was better socially, you know? Alright, so now we're gonna flip that coin and talk about 7 things that I love about myself. So first and foremost, I love that I'm not a money hungry person. I never aspire to be rich. I just want to be financially secure one day. Like, when people play the lotto, they're like, oh yeah, one day is gonna be my day, you know, and I root for them. I hope your day is coming. For me, I have like no interest in winning the lotto, you know? And then I will even come across people who will say things like, oh, I wish I was that person on the plane that got dragged off the plane, because then I can sue and I'd be set for life. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I understand what they mean as far as wanting to be well off and you won't have to work another day in your life, but at the same time, I kind of love that I'm not that type of person. I'm just not money hungry. I don't aspire to trick anyone or be in a not great situation to where I can one day sue, you know? Like, I don't want to get money that way by suing someone. I don't want to rely on that, and I love that I don't rely on those types of things, you know? So that's one thing that I love about myself, that I'm not a money hungry person. Alright, so another thing that I love about myself is that I'm a caring person. I'm very empathetic. I love that about myself, and as years pass and the more news I watch, and you know, news is totally biased, but I just feel like we need more caring people in the world. So that is one thing that I really love about myself, that I am caring. I am genuinely a caring person, and when I do things for you and when I say that I care about you, it's genuine. If I do something for you, it's because I care, you know? And that is one thing that I love about myself, that I'm a caring person. Another thing that I love about myself is that I'm a creative person. So some people, if you're not creative, you won't understand it, but I love that I'm creative. I always have a lot of ideas. I'm always working on projects. I always find something. There's always something in my mind that I'm rolling around that I want to build or create or write. It's just something, you know? I just love that I'm a creative person. So the next thing that I love about myself is that I love being a mom. Now, that might not sound like a big deal, but if you think about it, not everyone loves being a mom. I am someone who loves being a mom. I have come across people at my daughter's previous school where I'll be like waiting during dismissal time, and you'll hear like moms, stay-at-home moms, mind you, saying like, oh, I put my kid in all-day summer camp because I just can't deal with them. Like, that makes me a little bit sad. So one of the things I love is that I love being a mom. Elle is literally the best person ever. She's so funny. She is really smart. We play video games together and board games together, and she makes me laugh. So she is just an amazing person. So I love being a mom. I like going to like the school functions. I like watching her hit milestones. I love that stuff, you know? The next thing that I love is that I really love that I can find happiness in the most simplest things. You know, I've mentioned this before, but I am someone that can really be happy or feel happy inside with the smallest things. Just being in a place that looks like really pretty, just like looking out at like a sunset. I don't need to rely on like materialistic things to make me happy. I don't need to jump out of a plane to feel that adrenaline to make me happy. Like, I can really find content and happiness in simple things that might get overlooked by some people. One thing that I really love is that I'm a good listener. I think that you can learn a lot of things by listening. One of my favorite things to do in New York was just to like walk around and listen to people talk, and it really inspired me when I would hear like different languages, because you hear so many different languages. It's really a true melting pot, New York City. So it really inspired me to want to like learn a lot of languages, just so I can like listen to what people were saying. It's a curiosity thing, and I don't know, I think it's fun. It's kind of like those people who like people watching. I'm someone who likes people watching as well. I know that sounds creepy, but I think it's fairly normal. Like, other people like it as well. And I just kind of like listening to people, and you start to pick up on things. You can learn from other people. You can just see what other people, it's like a little snippet of what is going on in other people's lives. But I like that I'm a good listener. I know that comes across as creepy now that I say it out loud, but overall I love that I'm a good listener. People really come to me. My friends who really need to talk to someone will come to me because they know that I'm a good listener. The last item on my list regarding what I love about myself is that I'm a very intuitive person. I really go off my intuition, and I feel really sensitive in that area, that I'm very sensitive when it comes to my intuition, when it comes to my instincts. And I want to say that more often than not, my intuition is always right. So I feel like I really love that, like, I wanted to call it a sixth sense, but I really love that extra sense I have, that I'm very intuitive. Alright, so that is pretty much my list. 7 things that I hate about myself and 7 things that I love. Down below in the comments, please list out 1 thing you hate about yourself and 1 thing that you love, because I'm curious. I want to see what everyone else thinks as well. And other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you were able to get to know me a little bit more through this little list exercise. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.